Here is the fact that defines your Thursday. After a spell where temperatures across parts of the UK were pushing past 30 degrees for days on end, and forecasters were tracking peaks in the low 30s in the hottest corners of the country, today is the day the heat lets go. Thursday, the 6th of August 2026, is the turning point. Rain is spreading in, the wind is picking up through the daytime, and the air feels different. Now, a cooler day sounds like relief, and for a lot of people it genuinely is. But this is the moment forecasters quietly get twitchy, because the first proper rain after a long dry, hot run is statistically one of the trickier days on the road network. In the next few minutes I will explain exactly what is happening, why it is happening now, and the specific things it changes about your day. So let us start with the present picture. Today is a genuinely mixed bag rather than a washout. Rain is spreading across the country with stronger winds arriving through the daytime, but that does not mean grey everywhere. Take the southwest as a worked example. Met Office guidance for Portishead, just outside Bristol, points to sunny intervals today, a high of around 20 degrees, a low near 11, and maximum gusts of about 25 miles per hour. Two words there matter. Sunny intervals means broken cloud with real sunshine in between, not a solid overcast. And gusts are not the steady wind speed, they are the short, sharp peaks, which is what actually catches a caravan or a high-sided van. A high of 20 degrees is roughly the low end of the usual August range, because London typically sits between about 18 and 23 degrees this month. So this is not cold. It is simply normal, arriving after weeks of very much not normal. Why now? The short version is that the atmosphere has swapped its steering wheel. Through the hot spell, high pressure was parked over or near the UK, and high pressure means air sinking, which suppresses cloud and lets the ground bake day after day. Heat compounds, because each hot day dries the soil further, and drier soil heats up faster than damp soil. That is the feedback loop that turns a warm week into a heat wave. What has changed this week is that the jet stream, the fast ribbon of wind high above us that shepherds Atlantic weather systems, has shifted back over the country. Once it does that, low-pressure systems get a runway straight to our shores, bringing cloud, rain, and wind. Forecasters flagged that the heat would fade from Thursday after the Wednesday peak, and that is precisely the sequence unfolding. Context matters here too. Recent months have run exceptionally warm, with parts of eastern England and much of the Midlands sitting roughly 2.5 to 3.5 degrees above average. Now the practical bit, and this is where today earns your attention. Rain after a prolonged dry spell is not the same as ordinary rain. During a dry run, oil, rubber, and dust build up on the road surface. The first shower lifts that film without washing it away, and for the opening 20 minutes or so the road can be noticeably greasy. Add hard-baked ground that struggles to absorb water quickly, plus drains clogged with weeks of summer debris, and you get standing water in places you would not expect it in August. Then layer the wind on top. Gusts around 25 miles per hour are not dramatic on paper, but combined with spray from lorries and exposed stretches of motorway, bridges, and open moorland, they are enough to nudge a vehicle out of line. The RAC has been pushing exactly this message in its driving guidance this week. The practical answer is simple. Double your following distance, use dipped headlights in heavy spray, and slow down before the standing water, not in it. Travel disruption today is less about the weather being severe and more about it colliding with the busiest fortnight of the British holiday calendar. Early August is peak school holiday flying, so airports are already running with very little slack. When wind picks up, air traffic control increases spacing between aircraft on approach, which quietly reduces how many landings an airport can handle per hour. That is why a modest gusty day can still produce a knock-on delay by mid-afternoon, even when nothing has been cancelled. On the roads, the pressure points are the routes into the southwest, with Boardmasters underway at Newquay this week and the usual Cornwall and Devon holiday traffic on the A30 and M5. Wet tarmac plus queuing traffic plus tired drivers is the classic August combination. And it is not just domestic travel, with Motherwell supporters heading to Helsinki for European football this week, so anyone flying out should check departure boards before leaving home rather than on arrival. Here is the trap in a day like today. When the temperature drops and cloud builds, people assume the sun risk has gone with it. It has not. In early August the sun is still high in the sky, and ultraviolet radiation passes through thin and broken cloud very effectively. On a day of sunny intervals you can genuinely burn between showers, particularly on the coast where reflection off water and sand adds to the dose. So sun cream, a hat, and sunglasses still belong in the bag, even with an umbrella beside them. 2 other things worth knowing. Rain often knocks pollen out of the air, so hay fever sufferers may get a welcome few hours of relief today, though a gusty, drying wind can stir grass and weed pollen back up afterwards. And after a run of uncomfortable, sticky nights, tonight's low of around 11 degrees in places should finally deliver proper sleeping temperatures, which matters for recovery after a hot spell. So where does this go next? The near-term signal is that the Atlantic pattern holds rather than snapping straight back to heat. Once the jet stream is overhead, it tends to keep delivering systems for several days, so expect a more changeable, showery and breezier feel rather than a single wet day followed by instant sunshine. Southern regions that see early showers should trend drier as the pattern settles. The honest analysis is that this is a return to a typical British August, not a collapse into autumn. That said, there is one date worth circling. On the 12th of August 2026, just 6 days from now, the UK gets a deep partial solar eclipse, and it will be the most striking astronomical event visible from Britain in years. The single biggest variable for whether you see it is cloud cover, which is exactly why the Met Office 14-day forecast, recently rolled out in the app, is suddenly worth checking daily this week. Let us bring it together. Thursday, the 6th of August 2026, is a transition day, not a disaster day. Highs near 20 degrees, lows around 11, gusts to roughly 25 miles per hour, sunshine in between the rain. The temperature story is genuinely good news after weeks running several degrees above average. The risk story sits entirely on the roads, because the first significant rain after a long dry spell turns familiar routes greasy and puts water where the drains cannot take it. If you remember one thing from this video, make it this. Treat today's roads like a wet November day, not a summer one, for the first hour after the rain arrives. Leave 10 minutes earlier, check your flight before you set off, and keep the sun cream in the bag anyway. And keep an eye on the cloud forecast, because the 12th of August is coming, and clear skies will be the thing everybody wants.